Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, be it albums, EPs, or singles, and after I listen to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. NF's new album, Hope. NF's new album, Hope. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here, stylistically here. And before I get into my stylistic description, let me just say the sound on this album is really high quality. Pretty good sound here on this album. Stylistically, definitely a mix of a few different things here. We definitely got some hard-hitting hip-hop bangers that can sometimes be lo-fi influenced as well, even when it hits hard. And there's also definitely some pop and alternative influences here that make up for a lot of the more chill moments on this album. Though the pop and alternative elements can get kind of upbeat at times as well. Actually, when NF incorporates pop elements on here, he kind of reminds me of Toby Mac's newer stuff a little bit. When NF gets poppy, kind of sounds a little bit Toby Mac-ish, a little bit. Vocally here, NF raps and sings. There's some songs where NF doesn't rap and just sings. And there's also some sing rapping as well here. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. NF talks about how his dreams of success have been delayed by hopeless mental pain from the haters, but he never compromised on following God's calling to make a difference with his music by being real. And as his wife loved him through the pain, and as he put his hope in God, God helped him overcome the pain that only made him stronger to live his dreams of success with his real music against the haters' odds. Up next, Unspoken's new EP, God Help Me. Unspoken's new EP, God Help Me. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, definitely on the R&B and gospel influenced pop rock side of things, with the emphasis on the pop side of the equation. And also, too, it's mostly on the upbeat side of things. The only song that really all out slows it down is the title track that opens up the EP here. And when I say gospel elements, I would note that there is a gospel choir that sings on almost every song of the new EP. So definitely got some gospel influence here for sure. As for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. Love the themes addressed here. Unspoken talks about how in hopeless, hard times, we can put our hope in God too, in his sacrificial love through Jesus that loves us as we are to change us to reflect that love, be with us, to help us, and change the hard times into something better. I love the themes on this EP. God helping us through the hard times. Jesus' love that allows us to come as messed up as we are. And also how we're called to reflect his love to others. Really love those three themes here on this new EP. Up next, Selah's new album, Greatest Hymns, Volumes 3. Selah's new album, Greatest Hymns, Volumes 3. Yes, as the title of the album suggests, this is a hymns album. Let's dive into it. So stylistically here, definitely a soft, piano-driven, contemporary worship sound here. I would say the contemporary aspect of this album is definitely has a kind of a throwback CCM feel to it, I would say. Even though this is a little bit of a mellower album than I would typically go for, I have to say this is a pretty good album here. Kind of chill, kind of relaxing, pretty nice sounding album here. In addition to soft contemporary worship and piano, we also have some classical elements and some Southern gospel elements as well. Actually, I would say the Southern gospel elements on Put Your Hand in the Hand and Will the Circle Be Unbroken make for the couple upbeat moments here on this album. Pretty good album here, and the lyrics are pretty good as well. And as for the lyrics here, Selah talks about praising the Lord Jesus for how in his love he shed his sacrificial blood on the cross to forgive and save us from sin, to reconcile us, to belong to God and follow him in a new life where we peacefully rest in the midst of hopeless times of uncertainty by laying our uncertainty before Jesus in prayer as we trust in him to be faithfully with us, to sovereignly fight for us by giving us strength to break free from what we're facing, and knowing that one day we will be reunited with our loved ones in heaven. Up next, Mike Teezy's new album, The Greenhouse Project. Mike Teezy's new album, The Greenhouse Project. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, definitely a R&B and hip-hop sound that can be danceable and hard-hitting at times. There are also trap and lo-fi elements. Vocally here, Mike Teezy definitely leans on the singing and sing-rapping vocals. But there's some rapping vocals on here as well. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. Really connect with this theme of God refining us in the greenhouse while we're waiting. And as for the lyrics here, Mike talks about how in the waiting to live his calling of sharing the truth of the gospel with his rap, he struggles with doubt, but he surrenders his faith to God, who in his love drew Jesus on the cross is faithfully with Mike to purge him free of sin, protect him, provide for him, and give him the strength to, at the perfect timing, help bring him out of the waiting to live his calling. Up next, our last release for today, Relent's new EP, World War Me. Relent's new EP, World War Me. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, definitely on the alternative hard rock / metal meets hip hop side of things. Emphasis more on the hard rock than metal part of it, but definitely some metal influence here as well. For the most part, a pretty heavy album. The only song that I would say is really light is really lighter is Sirens, which has kind of more of a, and I know this sounds like an odd description for a song, but the song definitely has a meshing of trap and alternative rock. So I described it as a alternative trap rock ballad. Vocally here, Miggy Sanchez, Relent's lead singer, relies mainly on singing and rapping vocals. But we hear some screams as well, particularly on Soldier, I would say. The opening song on this EP. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Really talks about overcoming suicidal thoughts in one's life and helping others to overcome suicidal thoughts as well. And Miggy talks about how he puts to death the devil's lies of fear that life is not worth living by relying on Jesus' forgiveness. And Miggy also talks about how he wants a loved one who's dealing with pain to let his love in before this loved one commits suicide. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. I put out videos every Friday at 9:30 on Pacific time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what I may have said about them, let me know that in the comments below. Also, in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome releases that came out today that you want to see in next week's video. Also, check out the playlist section for a Music Muffin Streams playlist available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. And this month's edition of the playlist includes songs from artists like Ryan Stevenson, Colton Dixon, Lydia Laird, and others. So go and check it out if you're interested. Well, go now. See you next week. Bye!